Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Jessica Alba and Lizzie Mathis. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Kevin Costner joins us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad, and good morning to you. How are you?
George Lopez joins us right now. George, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What lovely to talk. You me funny lad.
Megan Trainor.
Thank you so much, Brad. You're awesome.
Chloe Bailey joins us. I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Brad Gilmore! And she's joining me right now. You've seen this woman on your screen for so many years and so many great projects, and I'm thrilled to be talking about Marty Supreme, the new Josh Safdie movie starring Timothée Chalamet. It is the incomparable Fran Drescher. Fran, how are you this morning?
Oh, I'm so happy to be here talking to you, and I'm great, and I feel very blessed to be part of such a movie that's got so much buzz and get to know all these great people involved with the movie, like Timmy and Josh Safdie, and I'm with my mom right now for the holidays, so I'm lucky and I'm grateful.
Well, yeah, I mean, I heard you say that you've never been a part of a movie or a project that had this much buzz, and obviously going into award season, you know, Chalamet is all the talk of the town, and he gives a great performance in Marty Supreme. But is that true? You don't feel like you've had this much buzz around a film before?
You know, I would say that maybe Saturday Night Fever.
Sure.
When I was in that, I remember when I went to California to shoot American Hot Wax, it was the same studio and the same producers. And so I was invited to see a cut of the movie before it was color corrected. And I sat there and I thought to myself, this is going to be huge. And I felt that way when I watched this movie, knowing that the reviews were great, but I didn't know if I would agree with the reviews. But then when I saw it, everything about it comes together in such a potent way. The music, the editing, the cinematography, the director is all over the place. In terms of it's his thumbprint on everyone behind the camera and in front of the camera. And it's his movie, 100%. And he's just, incredibly talented. And this movie is somewhat similar to Uncut Gems, which starred Adam Sandler, that he won an Oscar for. Was nominated for an Oscar. But it has more heart and humor. And so I think that is the director finding other facets of himself. He has 2 daughters now. He's happily married, and he's a great guy. And I'm really very excited for the audience to get to see it. But who's ever gone so far to like a sneak preview at the movie theaters have been, really struck by the energy, the pace, the acting, the all of it. It's just, and then it leaves you thinking when it's over.
And that's what you want from a film, right? Something that's going to not only entertain you, but also challenge your thinking a little bit. And one thing that the Safdies are so good at, Josh in particular, who's the director of this film and also co-directed Uncut Gems that you talked about, is Uncut Gems is like the most intense film I think I can remember seeing. I mean, it's all nonstop intensity, anxiety, which is great for what the story was, and then adapting some of that style for this movie, but you say with more heart and humor. How do you characterize Josh Safdie's style as a director?
I think it's a train ride that's sort of unrelenting, barrels you into this odyssey where the character goes deeper and deeper into this abyss of bad decisions. And they all seem to have an obsession, the central character. I was supposed to do a baseball movie with Adam, with Josh, and baseball was the obsession in that. But the strike got in the way, the strike of 23. And it didn't end in time for him to shoot the movie because he needed the baseball season to be the backdrop of the film. And so it was put on a back burner. And then this was, I guess, the next movie that he had lined up. And he offered me the part of the mom. And so, Josh and I have gotten close since the strike, because he kept calling me as the president of SAG-AFTRA to try and find out, what was going to be and whether or not I'll be able to make this movie. And I would always take his call because I was in it. I'm no fool. But it was, we developed a relationship of great honesty. And, it was very lovely without me having anything invested. I figured that movie's going to go away and I'll never hear from the guy again, but I did. And I'm really happy that he called me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. And one thing that the Safdie brothers in general are great at, and I don't know who the casting director was on this film, but the casting of the film is sensational. Not only yourself, Timothée Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, and then he always throws in some interesting picks like a Tyler, the Creator, or a Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful. The cast of this movie, though, had to be fun to work with.
Yes, very much so. I mean, I think that one of the things that the director is excellent at, and by the way, the casting director got a nomination for the Critics' Choice Award, I believe. And but I think that he has this uncanny ability as a director to recognize who can very easily be very comfortable playing a version of themselves. And so he finds people that seem like there's some essence to the character that is very authentic and real in the performer. And so not everybody in the movie has acted before, but they sure did now. And he creates an environment where you can be comfortable being you. And I think that that's a talent that he has, to recognize in certain people that they could just be comfortable in their own skin in front of the camera. A lot of people become very affected. They lose their naturalistic behavior. Now, a trained actor knows how to do it, whether it's a character that they're close to or not. But a non-actor without training, you need to find that person that can step out and just, be comfortable being who they are. And it doesn't matter who's around or anything.
So I guess is that the difference between a good director and a great director? You've worked with so many great directors in your career. I mean, you worked with Coppola on a film. I mean, is that what separates the good and the great, is being able to figure out how to get them to kind of shed the skin and just be comfortable in front of the lens?
Oh, wow, absolutely. I mean, if you can't get that out of a performer, whether they're skilled or not, you're going to have a film that's not authentic feeling, and the people who pay money in the theater to watch it on the big screen, they're not going to believe it. So, yes, but I think that the great directors also know how to arc a film, know how to cut a film, understand from beginning to end where it's heading and what has to come out of it emotionally. Usually a movie is shot completely out of order. So the director has to be very, very skilled at making sure that the performer is at the exact right emotional place in the story. Because you might have shot a scene the day before that was in a completely different emotional headspace as the story is being told, because you're shooting it out of order. So the director's job is really to make sure that everybody is in the right emotional place at the right moment throughout the movie. So it's not all over the place. And there's a lot of movies like that. And you think, what the hell was that? That director had no control over the performance, had no vision for the movie, and, I wasted money. This guy has a very clear vision, and very clear ability to control the actors so that whenever he shoots the scene, it's exactly what he needs them to be in that moment of the storytelling. And the way he cuts it and the music and everything, who he hires, the cinematographer, it all comes together in this beautiful Josh Safdie film.
And what's interesting about the Safdie brothers, too, and Josh in particular, who's the director of Marty Supreme, in theaters December 25th, starring Fran Drescher, Timothée Chalamet, and a wonderful cast of characters. But what's great about him is he has such a unique style. Like, when you see a Scorsese film, or you see a Spielberg film, or you see a Quentin film, it's their movie, because they have such a unique style that they bring to the cinema and to the screen. And I think Safdie is one of those as well. When you see the movie,
I completely agree.
I would know it was him without anyone telling me.
I completely agree with that. Absolutely. And that's what makes a great artist. That's true with paintings too. If the artist is distinctive enough that they're not copying someone, but they've carved their own inroad in history, then that you can identify them, then that makes, I think, a true artist.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be that recognizable. And you know what? You want to talk about a true artist. I think that Chalamet obviously is on a great run of movies, going back to Call Me By Your Name and then to A Complete Unknown last year. This one, I have a feeling he's going to go all the way with this one as far as award season goes. But working with him as an actor, him being, 28, 29 years of age, do you see that ambition? Because I feel like what you were saying about Marty Supreme, Marty the character, having this kind of ambition and drive. I see that in Timothée as well, wanting to be one of the greats. He's very outspoken about that. I want to be known as one of the all-time greats. I think he said that at the SAG Awards.
Yes,
do you see that in him?
Well, all the points that you've made say that he is ambitious, to be very accomplished in his craft, to be considered a great actor. Yes, that is very similar to the character that he plays. But that only confirms what we were just talking about, that Josh works with people who are closer to their character. You know, he did not grow up rich. He grew up in Hell's Kitchen, New York. So for him to play, you know, a poor street kid in 1952 who has an ambition for greatness is not such a stretch. But what he does within it has that, you know, character is just, you know, I mean, really breathtaking. Especially, you watch this whole movie, what he will do to realize his ambitions and get out of where he comes from. And then at the very end of the movie, which I'm not going to say, but it just leaves you, I mean, it's just such a brilliant choice that the director made to end the movie that way. It's so provocative. And I thought I knew exactly what it meant until I talked to somebody the other day who saw a sneak preview. They had a completely different viewpoint about it, which makes for great filmmaking because, you know, it's provocative, it's thought-provoking, it's discussion-worthy, and people take away what they interpret, and a lot of that is seen because they're watching the movie through their own lens, through the portal of their life experience, through the portal of their emotional growth or maturity or development over the course of their life. So, you know, it's fascinating, and there's a lot of meat on the bone.
Yeah, no, and that's what's great about the Safdies in general. Even I saw the other Safdie brother do The Smashing Machine earlier this year with Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. It was so well done, and again, very unique. And being able to have those conversations go after the credits roll really is the mark of a great film. And working with Timothy, I heard you also mention that he was more of the host of the film as opposed to just the star. And you said Robin Williams was like that as well. What do you exactly mean by that?
Dan Aykroyd, too. You know, like I observed Robin. I did 2 films with him, but the first one was Cadillac Man. And I would see that he was as... like he would spend as much time talking to the guy pushing a broom as he would to the money people on the set. And that's very telling of how, you know, who you are, the character that you are, to respect everybody equally. And Dan Aykroyd was like that too. And I always felt like, oh, you know, when I become famous, I want to be like that too. And I feel like I was like that on The Nanny because of them. And I think Timmy is like that too. He does not make anyone feel slighted or less than. He's gentle with his words. He's kind. There's a kindness to him that he's not egotistical, and it's a credit to his upbringing, I imagine, that he is like that, even though he can be indulged in a very different way that's antithetical to what I would like to consider a true star to be. But people become famous and surround themselves with yes people, and they carry all the baggage that they've had from early childhood with them, and they just, you know, become more dangerous to themselves because no one is telling them to grow up and let go of this damaged inner child. They're all yes people around them, and we've seen this happen a lot of times. People are indulged, unfortunately, and some of them get into a lot of trouble for that reason. He's not like that. I don't think he's ever going to have psychological problems like that just based off of having met him and having observed him. Not necessarily my interaction with him, which was somewhat limited, but observing him in his interactions with other people and how he chooses his words. He's he's meticulous with his words because he doesn't want to, come across bad or harsh or critical or, he's just very soothing personality. And I really admire that in him. And I wish him all his aspirations to come true, but he's already on that path.
He's already on that path, Fran Drescher, and you can see Timothée Chalamet, Fran Drescher, Gwyneth Paltrow, and more in Marty Supreme, directed by Josh Safdie, in theaters this week, Christmas Day. Fran, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. Thank you for all the years of your great career and all the entertainment you've given me over the years, and I really appreciate the conversation.
Thank you. It was my absolute pleasure, and I wish you a happy, healthy holiday.
You as well. Fran, thanks so much.
Thank you.